Thank you for staying with us. It's 92 days to the general election in Nigeria, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is saddled with the responsibility of achieving credible voters' registration since the court has ordered an extension of the process. Although INEC's National Commissioner for Voter Education, Festus Okoye, has promised a free and fair election, Nigerians are still demanding that the voters' registration exercise be coordinated and properly organized. Joining us now from Abuja studio is the Director of Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, Ayodele Aluko. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, Veronica. Thanks for having me.
Right. The courts are asking the commission to extend voter registration, but INEC is saying no to that, and Nigerians are demanding for this extension. Where is the commission on this matter?
Well, we got that court ruling. We got that court ruling I think just 2 days ago, and there were conflicting reports. Actually, there were reports that the learned judge actually did not direct INEC to resume registration because of a few days to the timeline given in the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act actually said that we should display the register and also allow Nigerians to make claims and objections not later than 90 days to the general election. When that court ruling was given, that was 2 days ago, that was around 94 days to the general election. And by tomorrow, today it's 92 days, tomorrow 91 days. By Saturday, it will be exactly 90 days to the general election. So there were reports that from the actual judgment given by the court that the judge did not actually direct INEC to resume. That as it may, the issue is a simple matter. We are a law-abiding institution. We are a creation of law. We always obey court orders, even though analysts believe that there's a problem of difficulty of compliance. But then there's a problem of time. And we just believe that as a commission, we are flowing with the law. The display of the register took place between the 12th and the 18th of this month. Nigerians had the opportunity to scrutinize the register. And even for the first time, as also stated in the Electoral Act, INEC was able to upload that register on the website. Many Nigerians were able to look at the register even from the comfort of their homes. And all those Nigerians who felt they needed to make any form of claims are made when you look at the register and you see that your own particulars have issues. Maybe your name was not properly spelled, maybe your particulars were not properly entered, and you needed to let us know. Or maybe in your own community, you saw that there were entries that should not be there, maybe persons who are already dead, and you needed to notify INEC so that those names could be expunged from the register. And we gave Nigerians that opportunity, and between last Saturday and, of course, till tomorrow, we also give opportunities for people to make claims and objections in our local government offices. So today, tomorrow, Nigerians who had issues that they needed to notify INEC about, opportunity still exists right in our local government offices. I need to state clearly that issues with the voters' registration, issues with the register, issues with display, claims and objections are extremely local. They are local issues. That is, they are dealt with at local government areas, at world levels, and we need Nigerians to really understand all this. Even if you are able to stay in Lagos and you're able to view the register on the website, you're able to view the register of places as far as Benue, of places as far as Benue, of places as far as Kano, of places as far as Rivers. The opportunity to actually make claims and objections abound in our local government areas. That is, people who live within the local government areas can easily go to our local government offices and make their views known to our officers who have been trained and directed to do the right things. So as far as the Commission is concerned, we are complying with all laws, we are complying with the Electoral Act, we have respect for the judgments of the courts of law, and we will continue to do according to the dictates of the law.
All right, let me ask about the INEC result viewing portal, the IREV that will be deployed by INEC. This is a new introduction into the process, but can you give us as a way of educating and enlightening Nigerians, how is that going to work? How would it operate? Can you let us know?
Thank you. It's a very simple process. It's an innovation. It's an innovation that was actually brought up by the Commission to build confidence in the elections, to ensure there's transparency, ensure there's proper control, and stamp out any form of manipulation or any form of problems with the results. Now, the way it works is that at each polling unit, at the end of counting of the results, the results will be sorted out, will be counted according to the scores of the political parties. Once the results are counted, the presiding officer will enter these results into what we call Form EC8A. And at the end of that, of course, he will give copies to the agents, to the security, that is the police. We give copies, he will return a copy. Then he will use the beavers machine. He will snap the Form EC8A. That is a photograph of Form EC8A. He will now upload that photograph Form EC8A he obtained with the use of beavers machine. We upload it to the INEC result viewing portal. We are not actually uploading data. We are uploading the picture of the Form EC8A, which has been duly produced by the presiding officer. That is how it works. So that once it's uploaded, then Nigerians who have access to that result view portal can download it and see the result of that polling unit. It's a very simple process, it's a very seamless process, and it has a lot of benefits, and it's going to make our general election extremely good.
All right, let's get back to the issue of the INEC register that was recently published. It has generated a lot of reactions, especially with regards to those that were seen as underage voters. And a lot of persons have come out to say that that shouldn't have happened in the first place. I wonder what your reaction is to how this happened and what INEC is doing to expunge that out of its system.
Thank you. I think some persons actually amplify the matter beyond what it should be. The register will display it, we call it preliminary register of voters. Already, we had an existing register. Remember, we conducted a general election for 2019. We used a particular register then. That register is the register we updated now when we had CVR from June last year to the end of July this year. And now, the number we had from the CVR, which INEC told Nigerians after we did ABIS, that is Automated Biometric Identification System, we had 9.5 million new registrants, which were merged with that 84 million. That's how we came up with 93.5 million number in the preliminary register of voters. At the point at which we displayed that register, the register became a preliminary register because Nigerians needed to also scrutinize the register, help us clean the register further, so we can have a final register that will be used for the general election. Now, people had opportunity to look at that register on a wider scale because we displayed it on the website. So many people, you could see somebody sitting down in Ikeja, as I said earlier, looking at the register of Kogi, looking at the register of Ogaminana in Kogi, looking at the register of places as far as Jos in Plateau State. And you see people looking at the register of various places. And there are some people who, of course, maybe saw some things they consider as a fraction. They said, they thought, these are other 80%. And for me, I believe this was over-amplified. But then, we told Nigerians that the main purpose of displaying the register was for Nigerians to see the register. If you see anything that should not be there, even if somebody, maybe a member of your family, passed on, that name should not be in the register anymore. So if you see a name that should not be in the register, all you need to know is remember the procedure. That is, in your own neighborhood, we said then in your ward, that is registration area, or the local government office of INEC, we gave people opportunity to report all this to us. There's a procedure for making complaints. Complaints are categorized into two: claims and objections. There's a procedure for it. The procedure is not on the social media. There are many people who went to the social media screaming, all this and that, but that's not the procedure. Somebody can scream till heavens come on the social media. That will not help us in any way to be able to claim the register further. If your own neighborhood, your own local government area, your own ward, you noticed an infraction, you noticed an entry that should not be there, you are duty bound to report to INEC. INEC offices are all over the 774 local government areas. We have our offices in the local areas are headed by electoral officers who are very senior persons. And we have many officers. We have registration officers. And once you report to them, I assure you, they will do the needful. And they have been doing that. Since the display started, they have been doing their work adequately. And thousands of Nigerians have actually reached out to our people, and INEC has been attending to them. And that process will end tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 25th of November. That process, which started on the 12th of November, will end tomorrow. And when that process ends tomorrow, that will be the end of issues with the voters register for 2023 general election. It is important that people understand this, that for every electoral activity like registration, there's a procedure. And of course, these procedures always end up in our local government offices. They are extremely local. So even if you start online, you have to still finish it in our local government offices.
All right, Mr. Luka, I want to believe that
our people will attend to you.
Yes, I want to believe, Mr. Luka, if you can hear me.
Even though the social media is there now, even our regular, important traditional media too, and you notice anything that you need to tell INEC, that you need
Mr. Luka, can you hear me?
It's always good to visit our office and let us know. Then we can act.
Right. Now, the issue is that I want to believe that it is for the purpose of transparency. That was why INEC published this register. And a lot of persons saw some things that they raised issues about. And that has also perhaps brought the integrity of the commission to question. That was why the question I raised earlier was, how did this happen in the first place? Because that is the question that a lot of persons have asked. Yes, people were raising concerns and possibly they did not go through the right channels, but we need you to address how it happened in the first place. Mr. Aluko, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Right. I was saying that the essence for the publication or the publishing of the INEC register was for the purpose of transparency and by the commission. And that has raised questions of the integrity of the commission with regards to the discrepancies that a lot of Nigerians saw with the registration of underage persons. Perhaps that was why they reacted the way they did. But the question that I asked earlier was, how did this happen in the first place, that these persons were registered? And if Nigerians perhaps are not channeling their grievances in the right channel, has this been addressed? Isn't this also questioning the integrity of the commission?
Right, thank you. And the integrity of the commission is intact because it's the same commission that displayed the register for Nigerians to scrutinize. We did not only display physically, we also displayed the register right on our website so that Nigerians can really see the register. I think by doing our job and giving Nigerians the opportunity to do that, that's a form of showing that we are transparent. Secondly, we also made people to understand that there's a procedure. That procedure was actually clearly publicized. That is, if you live within your own area, all Nigerians live within a particular ward or a particular local government. That's just the truth. For example, if you are in Ikeja, you live in Ikeja local government area. If you live in Abuja here, maybe you are in Gwagwalada, you are living in Gwagwalada area council. That's just the truth. And if you have an issue where you are, of course, you are a voter in that particular local government area. Now, if you have an issue with that register, it is necessary for you to just let us know. That's what we are saying, that we are there to attend to all complaints. There's no perfect situation in the entire world. Even the developed democracies, they have their own issues. Now, if there's any issue you notice in the register, all we are saying is let us know. Once you let us know, then you can now take us up if we do not do the needful. Once you let us know, we are duty bound to make sure that we do what is necessary. It's in our interest that we have a clean register because a clean register also leads to a clean election. And as a commission, we're doing all our best to ensure that we have a very good election in 2023. So the integrity of the commission is intact. We're an extremely patriotic commission, and we've learned a lot over the years. And the innovations now, the technologies we have actually brought on board are results of our reviews of our performance and the type of society we have. Every society has its own dynamics. In our own society, we know the problems with conducting elections, the problems of voter impersonation, the problems of people trying to vote many times because they could beat the system. And now we have come up with a system that's extremely good. And I assure you on behalf of the Commission that nobody that is ineligible to vote will be able to vote in 2023. It will not happen.
Now, there are concerns with regards to the bimodal voter accreditation system, that's the BVAS, where there are questions as to if the Commission is being pressured to not use the BVAS to in the election. Could you clear the air on that? Because there's been different views and positions with regards to the use of BVAS in the election.
Well, thank you. Please, I will urge you and all your Nigerians to disregard any news about the non-usage of the bimodal voter accreditation machine as fake news. We've been telling Nigerians that we will use BVAS in all the over 176,000 polling units in this country. Yes. And not only that, we also use the BVAS to transmit the results electronically to the INEC result viewing portal. So the BVAS have come to stay. BVAS will be deployed to all polling units in the country in 2023. The Commission is not under pressure by anyone or by any group to disregard the use of beavers. And I need to assure Nigerians to ignore any news, any fake news in that regard. The Commission is already planning seriously. The Commission is already organizing its logistics, receiving its materials, deploying as necessary. There's a planned deployment of all our resources, all our materials, all our resources. There are plans for training our officials, especially presiding officers and assistant presiding officers, on how the procedures will be handled in every polling unit in this country. So I need to assure all Nigerians, assure all our international development partners and agencies that the Commission will deploy the beavers machine to all the polling units in this country in 2023.
All right. When we talk about electronic transfer or transmission, as the case may be, there are concerns around the issue of power as well as internet. And we know that there are terrains in this country where there is still no electricity or even the issue of internet. And these are concerns of Nigerians. What are the assurances INEC is giving Nigerians that in those kind of terrains that the results can be transmitted even without power or internet?
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. The beavers machine does not need internet to accredit voters. The beavers machine is designed to accredit voters. We accredit voters through the verification of the fingerprint. And if the fingerprint fails, we verify your face. And the machines are configured to do that. The machines do not need internet to work. The only area where you need some level of internet to work is when you are transmitting the result to the portal. And in most cases, with all we have tried, with our trial in the elections we have conducted, of course, the transmission succeeds immediately. But where it does not succeed immediately, the staff are trained that as they move towards their collation centers, as they move, of course, the transmission succeeds. So there's no, we have tried all these things have been tried. Remember that we started using these beavers equipment with the Soko by-election in Soko many months ago. We used the beavers during the Anambra governorship election. We used it for the Ekiti election. We used it for the Osun election. So we have actually perfected the system. A lot of work has gone into the beavers equipment by our own engineers. Remember, the beavers itself, the software was developed in-house by our own ICT engineers before they were now, of course, fabricated somewhere else. So there's no problem at all about the issue of internet, this and that. The beavers equipment does not need internet to accredit people in the polling units on election day. But it needs some internet, I agree, to be able to transmit to the result viewing portal. And the ICT engineers have perfected the system such that there is success in terms of transmission with what we have done. And in some places where the transmission is delayed, once the officials begin to move to the collation center, of course, the thing automatically goes. It's just like when maybe you send money electrically to somebody and the person does not receive alert immediately. But you find out that after some time, the alert comes. And that is why when voting ends at 2:30 and our officers begin to count, begin to sort, and of course, they begin to snap the formiciate and begin to transmit the formiciate to the result viewing portal. By the time, in some places where you have some delays, within a few hours, you find that those who are downloading results are able to get them. So there's no problem at all. It's a system that has been perfected in three states, 3 governorship elections, and in a lot of elections that we have conducted. And we are sure that there will not be any problem nationwide. Nigerian engineers are also good. Our ICT engineers are very good, and we are proud of the work they have done.
All right. Just as a follow-up to that, would there be a correspondence between where the result is being uploaded and the place where it is supposed to be gotten? Is there supposed to be a feedback so that they know that, okay, my transmitting this result has hit the point where it is supposed to hit, so that the party agents who are waiting to be sure that the result that was gotten from the polling unit is actually at either the state level or at the INEC office where it is supposed to be? Would there be that instant correspondence for them to know that there's an assurance or there's a message to let them know that he has gotten to the destination?
Well, the way the system works is that if you're a political party and you have set up your own situation room on election day, of course, you receive the link from us. You set up your own situation room, and at a particular point in time on election day, you start downloading the results in your own, in the various local governments, from the various polling units in your local governments in your state. You start downloading. Let's say, as the political party office in a place like Abeokuta now, that is the headquarters of, that is the capital of Ogun State. Let's say a political party sets up its own situation room. Elections will normally close at 2:30 p.m. on election day. And then by 4 o'clock, you start downloading. One by one, you start downloading. It starts coming, you start downloading. You find out that within 2 hours, you must have fully downloaded all the results for your state. And of course, you can make your own conclusions. And I can assure you, the result that you are downloading will be the correct result. Because there's no other way any other result can get into that result viewing portal. The results will be coming straight from the PU, from the presiding officer. Because it's mandatory that he does that he transmits. And as he transmits, as the situation room of the political party in Abeokuta is receiving it, and it will be the same for all the situation rooms in all the state capitals. And of course, at the headquarters in Abuja, the headquarters of the political party can also have their own situation room, and they will be receiving all these results. It's the same thing with INEC. In our own state office, we will be also downloading results and be receiving results at the station room in the headquarters, or at the station room headquarters in Abuja, where the chairman himself will be seated with his national commissioners and very senior staff. We will also be downloading and be monitoring the results nationwide. So the results that will be downloading will be the same results that will be downloaded elsewhere by those who have that link, by who have set up their own situation rooms. The same thing with the media. Like TVC can have its own situation room in the TVC office headquarters right there in Lagos and be downloading results. The same thing, anybody, any part of the world, because the internet is global. You can download results, and all the results will eventually arrive. And whichever results you are getting will be the authentic result, because there's no way anybody can put any result that is not the authentic result on our portal.
Earlier, you mentioned that the system has been perfected, having been used at the Osun and Ekiti elections, but there are those who would say that with the discrepancies raised with regards to the Osun State election, when the tribunal sat, that the system has not been perfected after all.
Well, what you are saying is sub judice. The case is a case that is in court. I would not like to comment on that. We cannot really comment on comments made by either defense attorneys or prosecuting attorneys or whatever is happening in the court. let the court finish its job, and let the court give a judgment. Then we can analyze the judgment, and then we can move ahead from there. We did our best in Ekiti, we did our best in Anambra, also did our best in Osun. I will leave it there.
Right. But then again, there are concerns with data security, how secured the data, the votes will be. We recall that there were attempts on attacks on the systems in recent times, I think earlier this year, which the Commission came out to talk about. So if you could just give us an insight on the safety, the security of data collected during the election, such that Nigerians can be assured that there will be no tampering of either results or whatever it is, data collected at the end of the day.
Well, I can assure you that our system is secure. There is no system in the world that hackers will not attempt to attack. It's in their DNA to do that. Our system is secure. Our system is well defended. I will not talk about the defenses that have been set up to defend our system, but I can assure you that we have a secure system that no one will be able to hack. No one will be able to hack because the elections are quite important. We will not allow anybody to hack us, no matter where they are trying to hack from, no matter where the hackers are. Our system is secure, and on behalf of the Commission, I want to assure Nigerians there's no need for fear at all. Hackers will always try to hack, but the important thing is how secure a system is, and our system is very secure. No one will be able to hack our system.
All right. Let me ask about what some people might call staggered voting. We see that INEC goes to monitor elections in, say, South Africa or in Kenya or in Tanzania and all of that. But specifically in South Africa, the situation where time is allowed for the aged to vote on previous days, media, members of the security, and others who are going to be conducting very essential duty on the day of election are given the opportunity to vote in previous days before the election. Of course, we know that the laws right now has not given room for that in Nigeria, but what is INEC doing in a way, as a way of pushing for that, for the possibility of having staggered voting in such a way that election is not just one day? Because we know that a lot of media people don't vote, have not voted for so many elections past. A lot of security agents don't vote because on the day of election, they are all busy.
Thank you. Thank you. The truth is, what you have said is a real beautiful thing. The opportunity for persons to take advantage of what we call early voting. Yes, the media, security agencies, even people who choose to vote early. We saw it in, as you mentioned, in elections in countries around us. Even Ghana started it, and their system is working. In the US, we saw issues of early voting and how it impacted positively on their last general election, the presidential election. For us, we believe it will happen in the future. But for now, our laws do not allow such voting. Our laws state categorically that on election day, every voter must come to the polling unit, must appear in person in the polling unit and vote. That's just what our law says now. But there's no law that is rigid. I believe in future we'll arrive at that destination where, persons who want to vote early have the opportunity to vote early. Whereas for now, there's a lot of trust deficit in our system, and we need, as a country, to build trust. We need, as a country, to trust ourselves, trust those agencies. There are people who believe if we do that now, that the elections will not be free and fair, that the elections will not be credible. There are persons who will do all their best to subvert the system. But as a country, we believe that we'll continue to grow. As a country, we'll continue to improve. And of course, anytime the laws of our country allow INEC to do that, INEC will not be found wanting. Even there are persons who are also outside the country, Nigerians living outside the country, there are Nigerians who travel outside the country, and who would have loved to also be part of the voting process on election day. And for now, there's no opportunity for that. But in future, we believe that the National Assembly will consider all this and, of course, look at the whole scenario and insert such a thing in our law. And once they do that, INEC will never be found wanting. Thank you so much for that observation. It's a good one.
Right. We'll have to leave the conversation here now, but we must thank you, Director of Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, Ayodele Aluko, for your time on the program.
Thank you.